All right, good evening, everyone. We are reconvening from closed session and there is nothing to report. So we will adjourn the special meeting. It is 6:20 p.m. And at this time, I would like to call to order the Elk Grove City Council regular meeting. Today is Wednesday, August the 25th, 2021, and it is 6:20 p.m. Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. Consistent with Executive Orders N-29-20 and N-35-20 issued by the Governor of the State of California, this meeting will be conducted by teleconference only. The meeting location will be in the City Council chamber, but the chamber will not be open to the public. This meeting of the Elk Grove City Council will be replayed on Metro Cable Channel 14 on Friday, August 27th at 2 p.m. and Sunday, August 29th at 9 a.m. It is being closed captioned and will be webcast at sacmetrocable.tv. City Council meeting videos are also archived on the city's website at elkgrovecity.org. For members of the participating audience who may have personal electronic devices, please place them on silent mode during the meeting or on mute when you are not speaking. Elk Grove City Council welcomes, appreciates, and encourages participation in the City Council meeting. City Council requests that you limit your presentation to 3 minutes per person so that all present will have time to participate. City Council reserves the right to reasonably limit the total time for public comment on any particular noticed agenda item as it may deem necessary. Pursuant to resolution number 2010-24, no individual speaker concerning public comment may address the City Council for more than 3 minutes in the Zoom environment. A speaker timer will be displayed counting down the 3-minute time. For callers connecting direct via telephone, they can utilize the raise hand feature by pressing *9 on their phone, and the city clerk will run a speaker timer, and after the first 2 minutes have passed, a single bell ding will sound to inform you 1 minute remains, and when the total 3-minute time concludes for those that are connecting direct via phone, there will be a series of bells that will sound. With that, in our teleconference environment, for any operations such as a roll call or for any of our votes, we do those verbally. And so we're up to section 1 and 1.1, which is the roll call. For the roll call, I will be starting with Councilmember Spies.
Present.
Councilmember Hume.
Here.
Councilmember Suen.
Here.
Vice Mayor Nguyen.
Here.
And Mayor Singh Allen.
Here.
And we have all in attendance. Next would be the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, if we can get everyone to rise. Hand over heart. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, at this time, we will observe a moment of silence. All right, thank you. Next item.
It'll take us to section 2, approval of the agenda.
So
All right,
moved.
we have a
Second.
motion
Second.
and a second.
And with that, we'll move to the roll call vote for the approval of the agenda, starting with Councilmember Spies.
Aye.
Councilmember Hume.
Aye.
Councilmember Suen.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nguyen.
Aye.
And Mayor Singh Allen.
Aye.
With the 5-0 vote, we have an agenda before us.
All right, next item.
We'll move through the next couple of sections as there are no closed session items on the regular agenda for the closed session of section 3. And for section 4, presentations and announcements, there's no presentation announcements. That'll promptly take us to section 5, general public comment. Members of the audience may comment on any item not on the agenda that is of interest to the public and with the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. Each person will be allowed 3 minutes or less. If a large number of requests are received on a particular subject, City Council cannot take action on non-agendized items raised under public comment until the matter has been specifically included on an agenda as an action item. Members of the public desiring a response to a specific question are encouraged to contact any member of the City Council or the City Manager at any time. Those audience members who wish to address a specific agendized item are encouraged to offer their public comments during consideration of that item. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council members, before I go into the wrap up of what we received prior, for all of our attendees, we're under section 5, which is public comment. This is general public comment. Now is the time when you'd use the raise hand feature if you are an attendee in our audience, you'd like to address the City Council. When I after I pull up that 3-minute speaker timer. From before the meeting, we did receive 2 written comments, and there was a phone message that the system transcribed. And those 3 comments were circulated to the full City Council and city staff. Without further ado, I believe we have a few attendees in the audience. I'll pull up that speaker timer and we will start the public comment opportunities.
Jordanis Kabrib, you may go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
And for our individual that's signed up to speak, you're still muted. We can see on your side, you might need to unmute your device. And this is for Jordanis. There we are. You're coming in very faintly. We can hear some sound, but we cannot hear your voice. If you have your device or phone on a speaker phone, it's best to turn off any speakerphone function and talk directly into your phone or device. You're coming in, but we're having a hard time. Now is your opportunity to speak, to address the city council. We're getting feedback on your side, which indicates to me that you might have multiple electronic devices on, and you may want to mute those before you proceed.
Why don't we come back to this one? And
Yeah, I think so. Jordanis Kabrib, we are going to come back to you as we're having a hard time making a connection via the method in which you're calling in. So we're going to go to our next speaker, but we'll try you again.
Mark Graham, you may go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Mr. Graham, please proceed.
Excellent. Okay. Good evening, Mayor Singh Allen, council members and staff. Mark Graham, Elk Grove. I sent you an email yesterday, and it's about telecommunications law. The telecommunications industry can no longer say it's safe. The FCC says so. I hope that you will read my letter if you have not already. On Friday the 13th, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit issued its opinion in the case of Children's Health Defense versus United States, which was against Federal Communications Commission, and Environmental Health Trust versus FCC. These cases were consolidated, and the plaintiff petitioners had sued over the FCC's order from December 2019, where FCC closed their reassessment of the scientific literature on the health effects of long-term exposure to electromagnetic radiation. FCC had said, oh, there's nothing here. And the court ruled against them. The court remanded the issue back to the FCC, basically told them, you did not do this properly. Your decision was arbitrary and capricious. You lacked an evidentiary basis, and you did not exercise sound reasoning. So the FCC has to go and do it over again. So what does this mean for the city of Elk Grove? The continued proliferation of cell antennas across the city and the country represents an immediate threat to the public health, according to thousands of studies on EMF health effects that were presented to the FCC that they just ignored. Now, of course, we've amended our zoning code back in August of 2019, but there are some bills that are currently pending in the California legislature, and I've drawn your attention to this before, and I'll do it again. We're kind of late in the game of the legislative session, but it's not too late, and these bills have not been voted. I'm asking the city to formally oppose Assembly Bill 537 by Assemblymember Bill Quirk, and also SB 378, SB 28, and AB 955. I mentioned these in my letter. In particular, now you have the planning department with Mr. Murdoch, Bob Murdoch, and Antonio Ablog, and they are responsible for reviewing cell antenna applications. Here's the effect. If AB 537 becomes law, then if they are unable to act on a particular cell antenna permit application within the shot clock, that permit will be deemed granted, the application will be deemed approved, and construction may begin. And that's with even if the city has not gotten to it and reviewed it, and that's even if the application blatantly violates and conflicts with our zoning code on cell antennas. So that's why the city should oppose this. The city wrote a fabulous letter, Madam Mayor. It went out over your signature. I'm sure that the city attorney wrote the letter in April of this year in opposition to SB 556. I'm asking you to do the same thing with AB 537 and these other bills. The big picture is that we have always opposed laws that will limit local zoning authority, and that's what these bills would do, and that's why
Mr.
we
Graham,
should
your
oppose
time is
these
up.
bills.
Thank you for calling in.
I just want to note, sorry, staff, just jumping in really quick, that appreciate the folks that are on the attendee list using the raise hand function. And I do see that we have a phone caller. For our phone caller, you would use *9 if your intent is to talk during general public comment, section 5 of our agenda. We have a few other folks that are adding on to be using that raise hand function. So that's appreciated with our attendees. I'll turn it over to you, Nicole, for our next speaker.
Jinbar Katima, you may go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can. Go right ahead.
Okay, good. Good evening, Mayor Singh Allen, Vice Mayor Nguyen, and members of the City Council. My name is Ginbar Katema, and I'm here this evening to speak to you about a member of your community who has been missing for 16 days. Mr. Kafleet Gabramariam is a senior who suffers from dementia. He went missing from his home on Monday, August 9th. The family has posted hundreds of flyers throughout the city, as well as engaged the media and the Sacramento Regional Transit District, but we really need to do more. I'm here this evening to urge council to do 2 things. 1, direct Elk Grove PD to join the family and community in their daily search efforts. And secondly, I encourage you to also personally join the family and community who has tirelessly been searching the last 16 days. We will be back out searching again tomorrow afternoon at Oasis Park. That's the meeting place. I'll send a follow-up note with further details to each council member. Just imagine being 78 years old, confused, lost, cold, hungry, wandering. Wouldn't you want every rock turned over for you? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Next caller.
We're going to go back to Jordanis Kabrib. If you can unmute your line, you may go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Sorry, it was an accident. I accidentally raised my hand. Sorry.
That's okay. We can hear you. Go right ahead.
I accidentally raised my hand, so sorry about that.
Thank you. So we'll go on to the next caller because that hand raised was an error.
Ruth Nagesh, you may go ahead. You have 3 minutes. Ruth, if you can go ahead and unmute your line, you may go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor Singh Allen and council members. I'm calling just as Gamar Katema called in regards to a missing Elk Grove resident, Kafleet Gabramariam, a 78-year-old man with dementia who has been missing since August 9th, over 16 days ago. I'm calling to urge the Elk Grove Police Department to join in an active search with the family members and friends of the community of Mr. Kafleet, who've been meeting multiple times a day at Oasis Park and have been searching all over the Sacramento County for Mr. Kafleet, again, who is 78 years old with dementia. These have been an ad hoc search that the family members have just put together on a daily basis. And I am urging that the Elk Grove Police Department and other members of the Elk Grove community come together at Oasis Park to join in on this search. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Do we have any more callers?
And those looking over the list of attendees, we have no other raised hand features that are being utilized. So that would conclude public comment for general public comment.
All right, thank you. We will move on to our next item.
Take us on to section 6, general administration information.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. My pleasure to present some items for you this evening. First of all, I wanted to introduce our new Human Resources Director, Melissa Rojas, who started this last week. She comes to us with many years of human resources experience, most recently as the Human Resource Director from the City of Albany in the Bay Area, and prior to that, the City of San Ramon. So please join me in welcoming Melissa to the Elk Grove family. A little update on Elk Grove Census 2020. On August 12th, U.S. Census Bureau released some of its data for the census. The data set supports redistricting efforts that'll be going on in the coming months, including information about total population by race, ethnicity, population over the age of 18, and number of housing units. So just a few highlights. More information that will be forthcoming over the next several weeks that we'll be sharing as well. But essentially, Elk Grove's population increased by 15% between 2010 and 2020. This was faster growth rate than the overall county, which grew 11.7%. Elk Grove's growth rate was the second fastest in the county and fifth fastest for the SACOG region. More of the city's population is identifying as Asian alone, up from 26.3% to 33.5% in the 2020 census. Also of note is the percentage of our population under the age of 18 declined from 30% to 25%. So our population is aging. Additional information can be found on the census website at data.census.gov. A lot of that information will be available, or additional information will be available at the end of September. Just a quick CalPERS update. CalPERS released its most recent actuarial reports through June 30th, 2020 that show the city's overall funded status continued to increase, this time slightly from 87 to 87.1%. Given PERS only earned 4.7% that year. Again, this is kind of 2 years ago results. This last year had great results, but the year prior was not so great. Well under the earnings target of 7%. A small increase represents continued progress, though, towards decreasing the city's unfunded liability. The increase was driven by the city's $2.2 million it paid in additional discretionary payments in 1920. Elk Grove's funding status is within the top 10% of all local governments in the state of California. The average funded status in the CalPERS system is 70.6%. And again, the city is over 87%. So very proud of the work that has been done over a number of years to continue to contribute towards that. Also wanted to recognize the great work by our finance department. There are a whole lot of cities that achieved the financial reporting triple crown. The city recently received the Government Finance Officers Association Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. With that recognition, the city has received all 3 GFOA financial reporting awards this year. That's the Certificate of Achievement and Excellence in Financial Reporting for our comprehensive annual financial report, our popular annual financial reporting award for our annual financial report to the community, and our Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. So please join me again in congratulating our finance department for these honors. Police Department is kicking off the Citizens Academy this week with 17 members of the community participating in the program. Participants will receive instruction from staff in several different divisions of the police department. So great to have that going on again. Sticking with law enforcement, Police Department will be hosting a special Ladies of Law Enforcement event this week at District 56. Approximately 150 participants from throughout the region will attend to connect and find encouragement and guidance from speakers like Texas Police Officer Ann M. Carrizales, who took 2 bullets at point blank range and stayed in the fight during a 2013 incident. City and Sacramento Public Library Authority have begun design work for the relocation of the Elk Grove Library from the current site at Elk Grove Florin Road to the former Rite Aid at Waterman Road. The schematic design phase is expected to take approximately 4 to 6 months. Public outreach will begin this fall. Residents are encouraged to sign up for the project mailing list at elkgrovecity.org/Old Town Library for the latest news and announcements on how they can be involved. Earlier this month, we announced a plan for a series of community meetings on affordable housing and homelessness. These were originally planned as in-person meetings, but based on the current COVID-19 risk, we'll be moving these meetings to a virtual format. Meetings for Council Districts 1 and 4 scheduled to be held on September 28th, and meetings for District 2 and 3 will be held on October 5th. Information about how to register for these meetings will be coming shortly. Staff will evaluate holding in-person meetings by district once COVID restrictions are lifted. Just another reminder about San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission going to be hosting a virtual community open house tomorrow at 5:30 on a proposed Elk Grove train station. Meeting details and the notice of preparation initial study available on the SRJCC website. And finally, the Public Works Department will host a community workshop on the proposed widening of Grant Line Road from Bond Road to Calvine Road next Tuesday, August 31st at 6 p.m. at Atkins Family Vineyards, 8980 Grant Line Road. Participants will have a chance to view alternatives and ask questions during the meeting. That concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions the council might have.
Thank you for your report. Welcome, Melissa, and of course, congratulations to the Finance Department as well. I'm seeing no hands raised. We will move on to the next item. Thank you, sir.
The next item will be section 7, the consent calendar items.
All right, I would like to open the public comment opportunity.
And so for our attendees in the audience for the consent calendar, this is the opportunity to use the raise hand feature. If you do wish to address any of the items on the consent calendar, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members, there were no comments that were submitted prior to the meeting. And so with that, I have a raised hand feature and we'll pull that speaker in once I pull up the speaker timer.
Graham, you may go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, and staff. Mark Graham, Elk Grove. I noticed that there are on the consent calendar, there are at least a couple items where the city is going to dispense with the competitive bidding process. It's chapter 3.42 of the municipal code. And I see this frequently. And I just think in general that the competitive bidding process is a good idea. It's the council must have put it in place years ago for the purpose of protecting the city against ripoffs. I mean, if you can get the same job done by two capable, experienced contractors or providers, whatever you call it, why not have competitive bidding and why not get it done for less, for the lower price? So I just don't like when the city dispenses with the competitive bidding process. I think that it's poor practice. Is it a shortcut? Is it convenient? Well, it's always convenient, definitely. But I think that by creating that competitive bidding process, the council made a decision years ago that it's worth it. It's worth the extra inconvenience, if you would call it that, to have competitive bidding so that the city gets the best price for its tax dollars, which of course are our tax dollars. All right. That's all I have to say. And I would appreciate some sort of a response either from the council or from the city manager as to, why and in what circumstances does the city skip the competitive bidding process, and in other circumstances, the city actually goes through with it. That would be very nice. Help us all understand what you're doing with our money. Okay, thank you. I'm complete.
Thank you, sir. Any other hands raised?
And attendees, I do not see any other the raised hand functions for the consent calendar items.
All right, I will go ahead and close the public comment opportunity and ask for a motion.
Hume, move consent.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
With the motion and the second, I will go with the roll call vote, starting with Councilmember Spies.
Aye.
Councilmember Hume.
Aye.
Councilmember Suen.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nguyen.
Aye.
And Mayor Singh Allen.
Aye.
The consent calendar items will pass 5-0.
All right, thank you. Next item, please.
That will take us to section 8, our public hearing. And that is item 8.1, which is a public hearing to consider the issuance of bonds by the California Municipal Finance Authority in support of the Gardens at Quail Run 2 project, a TEFRA hearing.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. I'm Sarah Bontrager, your Housing and Public Services Manager. As Jason mentioned, we're here tonight to hold a TEFRA hearing for the Gardens at Quail Run 2 project. You might remember that in May, on May 26th at the council meeting, we held a TEFRA hearing for this same project. and that it was approved. Subsequent to that meeting, the bonding authority, the California Municipal Finance Authority, discovered they'd made an oversight in the amount that we publicized, and they'd excluded $10 million in tax exempt or in recycled bonds, in addition to the $25 million in tax exempt bonds for the project. And unfortunately, that did require us to redo this TEFRA hearing tonight. The project description has not changed. The financing has not changed either. $35 million was always contemplated. We just had not added the two amounts together. So the debt that's issued by the CMFA is the sole responsibility of the developer, in this case, Elk Grove Pacific Associates 5. The city does not have any financial or legal obligations or responsibility to repay the debt. And all financing documents will specify that. The city also doesn't have any costs in the issuance of the proposed debt. This is a private loan between the borrower and their bank. The project is much needed, the same as it was back in May when we first heard this matter, and staff is recommending that the council adopt the resolution approving the issuance of bonds by the CMFA for this Gardens at Quail Run 2 project. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Sarah. I will declare that the public hearing is now open and open the public comment opportunity.
For our members of the attending audience and the attendee list, now would be the opportunity to use that raise hand feature or on your phone *9 for item 8.1. This is what we're receiving public comment on. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members, there were no comments that were submitted prior to the meeting. And as I go back to look over the list of attendees, I do not see anyone utilizing the raise hand function. So that will conclude public comment for item 8.1.
All right, I will go ahead and close the public comment opportunity and declare that the public hearing is now closed. And open it up for council. Any questions or take a motion here?
Motion.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
And
Mr.
with
Steve,
that-
did you have any questions? No. Okay.
With that, then I will commence the roll call vote with the motion and the second, starting with Councilmember Spies,
Aye.
Councilmember Hume,
Aye.
Councilmember Suen,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nguyen,
Aye.
and Mayor Singh Allen.
Aye.
The resolution of item 8.1 will pass 5-0.
All right, next item.
Will take us to section 9, our regular agenda action items and recommendations, starting with item 9.1, which is to consider a resolution supporting the placement of a proposed tax measure on the November 2022 ballot to continue the Sacramento Abandoned Vehicle Service Authority vehicle registration fee of $1 and actions to amend the budget allocating $34,816 to the SOBSA to defray costs associated with placing the measure on the ballot.
How's that looking, Jason?
We've got audio and visual. Please proceed.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. Rosa Tapia, Code Enforcement Manager, and I have the pleasure of presenting this item before you this evening. Tonight, I will be discussing a request to consider a resolution supporting the placement of a proposed tax measure in order to extend the existing Sacramento Abandoned Vehicle Abatement Program, and also a request to consider amending the fiscal year 2021-22 budget to allocate funds to support this action. To provide some background, the California Vehicle Code established a provision to allow for a $1 vehicle registration fee to be imposed and be used to abate, remove, and dispose of abandoned vehicles on public and private property. Currently, this effort is undertaken by the Elk Grove Police Department and Code Enforcement. Code Enforcement focuses on the private property aspect of it, and the police department focuses on the public street. The Sacramento Abandoned Vehicle Service Authority, also known as SASVA, was established in 1992 and currently has 7 member agencies that include the city and the county of Sacramento, Galt, Folsom, Citrus Heights, Rancho Cordova, and Elk Grove, which has been a member agency since 2003. SASVA oversees this program, which provides reimbursements to member agencies performing abandoned vehicle abatement using the California DMV $1 vehicle registration fee. Revenue, which is collected, is distributed quarterly to member agencies using a formula based on relative population and relative number of abatements. This table that you see in my slide provides a brief snapshot of the city's annual number of abatements and reimbursements received over the last 5 years. In the last 5 years, on average, the city has abated just over 1,700 vehicles, and the city has received on average just over $186,000 in reimbursement for expenses that are related to vehicle abatement activity and relative costs of due process necessary to abate abandoned vehicles. One thing to note is abandoned vehicle complaints is one of the most common type of violations reported to code enforcement. Not only are there complaints received, but we're also proactive within our community as it relates to this type of violation or these types of concerns. Removing abandoned vehicles citywide, as you may know, is essential to maintaining the high quality of life for our community, in addition to preserving the aesthetics of our neighborhood. So the program SASFA is set to sunset. The abandoned vehicle abatement program has automatically extended in 10-year increments for the last 30 years. However, it's set to sunset April 30th of 2022. Under Prop 26, it was determined that the SASFA fee now qualifies as a tax, and therefore any extension of this program now requires a ballot measure with 2/3 support of the Sacramento County voters. Because SASFA doesn't have a budget to cover expenses related to ballot measures, member agencies would have to absorb the cost of placing that tax measure on the ballot. So what are those estimated ballot costs? As you saw in your staff report, SASFA anticipates that the highest possible cost for placing the measure on the ballot is just over $283,000. This would cover publishing costs, public outreach, education, and discretionary polling costs. This table identifies the estimated fair share of the 7 member agencies. Specifically for Elk Grove, as you can see on this table, it's anticipated that the cost would be right around $34,800. This estimated cost is based on all 7 member agencies agreeing to participate. If one or more member agency does not participate, the city's contribution would likely increase. If this were to occur, staff would return before the city council to further consider the increased member contributions. So staff's recommendation this evening is that the city council adopt the proposed resolution in support of extending the SAFSA program and amend the fiscal year 2021-22 budget to allocate the necessary funds to defray those costs that are associated with placing the measure on the ballot. And with that, I'm available for questions. I also have with me this evening the SAFSA program manager, Jennifer Dahl, who is also available for questions.
All right, thank you for that presentation. I will open the public comment opportunity.
And for our attendees in the Zoom environment, now would be that opportunity to use the raise hand function. We do have a phone caller as well. *9 would get the raise hand function for item 9.1. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members, for item 9.1, there were no comments submitted prior to the meeting. And as I go back over to our list of attendees in the Zoom environment, I do not see any raised hand functions for item 9.1. That'll conclude public comment for the item.
Thank you. I'll close the public comment opportunity and open it up for council questions. Any questions? Councilmember Hume.
Not a question, just a comment. I'll go ahead and move the item, but it's a shame that this is considered a 218 vote because this is a critical piece of, as was mentioned, quality of life issues, and the fact that it's tacked on to vehicle registration really is kind of goes part and parcel with the privilege of using our roads. So anyway, I'll move the item.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
I heard several seconds.
I might have been first, Spies.
Okay. Hearing no objection, we have a second from Councilmember Spies.
So with the motion and the second, I'll move to that roll call vote for the resolution of item 9.1, starting with Councilmember Spies,
Aye.
Councilmember Hume,
Aye.
Councilmember Suen,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nguyen,
Aye.
and Mayor Singh Allen.
Aye.
Resolution of item 9.1 will pass 5-0.
All right, thank you. Next item.
Will take us to item 9.2, which is to receive an update on city council priority projects and consider a resolution amending the priority projects.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members. Christopher Jordan. I'll be presenting this item for you this evening. As you'll recall, back in February, you held your biannual City Council retreat where you discussed and updated the city's mission, vision, goals, and priority projects. That item came back to you in April of this year for formal adoption. And as we've discussed before, staff will bring back biannual updates to this throughout the course of the 2-year planning period. A short refresher, the city's mission statement is to provide exceptional services that enhance the quality of life for our residents and promote a thriving economy in an efficient and cost-effective manner. Our long-term vision statement is to prioritize a superior quality of life for all that builds upon the community's diversity and heritage through safe, welcoming, and connected neighborhoods with a variety of residential, educational, and employment choices and amenities that create a sense of place. This mission and vision are supported by 4 goals, which are listed here on the screen, and each goal is reinforced by 4 to 6 supporting statements. Details on these can be found on the city's website under the City Council section. We identify each of these 4 goals by a series of logos that are shown here on the screen, and in the reporting and project matrix, you can find each of these subsequent projects associated with one or more of these goals. There are 30 priority projects that the council's identified for this planning period. Each of these is important to the city in a variety of manners and implements each of those goals in some way, shape, or form. Staff brings back reports on the progress towards implementing these projects twice a year. So this update will carry us through the 2021 calendar year up through August. Of the 30 projects, they're organized into 5 areas: civic amenities, transportation, community development, community safety, and city operations. I want to highlight some of the major accomplishments thus far this year in some of these projects. First up is the Old Town Plaza and Railroad Street revitalization. This reopened to the public in July. It's a fantastic new space for the community to host events and gathering, and staff really believes this is a harbinger of additional reinvestment in the community in the coming years. For instance, we have upcoming potential opening of the new brewery down Railroad Street. Next up, the District 56 nature area. This one's not quite complete, but we're nearing the finish line on it. This is the preserve area at the south end of the complex. This provides an extension of the amenities that are up at the north end. It includes trails, interactive areas that you can see here in the graphic, the pond area, great amenity for the community. And this project is targeted for completion later this year. Another project's not quite through all the way is the library relocation for the Elk Grove branch. This is currently at Elk Grove Boulevard and Elk Grove Florin, and it'll be moving to Elk Grove Boulevard and Waterman in the former Rite Aid space. Earlier this year, you authorized the acquisition of the building, which has now been complete. And staff's happy to say that this week, in partnership with Sacramento Public Library Authority, we've begun the schematic design work on the necessary renovations to set the building up for the relocation. As the city manager mentioned earlier in the meeting, public input opportunity on the design and function of the building will begin later this year. A couple of transportation projects to highlight that we're proud to say are now in construction: Camera Road and Grant Line reconstruction. These projects have been on the books for some time and through various design phases and work, very complex efforts to bring forward to construction. We're happy to see them out there today. The Camera Road portion we're targeting for completion late this calendar year, and then the Grant Line reopening for that work is targeting for mid-2022. One last major highlight for you: as you may recall, back in May, you adopted the new Bicycle, Pedestrian, and Trails Master Plan. This aligns the facilities identified in the plan with the new general plan and opens us up for new grant funding opportunities as they arise at the state and federal level. There are, of course, a variety of other projects on the list. I won't go through them in great detail, but some that are important to mention. The White Lake Parkway interchange continues moving forward on design and environmental review. We're working through the financing for Elk Grove Boulevard Streetscape Phase 2 and hope to bring that project to construction in the near future. We've started work on the Laguna Creek Interregional Trail Master Plan that will increase the opportunity for commuting and recreation on that corridor. City Manager also mentioned the meeting tomorrow night on the commuter rail service extension through Elk Grove into the Sacramento region. So that is an exciting effort. At your last meeting, you approved the contract with Turton Commercial for the Project Elevate marketing work. So that is now up and running. We're continuing to make progress in the Cameron Road Urban Design Study implementation. You authorized funding in the Recovery Act money to put towards some efforts toward improvements of bandwidth and internet service around the city. And of course, we continue to work forward on the Smart City Initiative. We do have a couple of requested revisions to the project list for your consideration this evening. Both of these are related to staffing assignments or reassignments that have occurred over the last couple of months. As council is aware, we've transitioned our transit services to regional transit. That's caused a reassignment of staff within the building, and the relevant projects that staff was assigned to are now housed in the city manager's office. So there's a resolution included this evening for modifying projects B10 and B11 into the manager's office. With that concludes my presentation. I and other staff are available to answer questions if you have them.
All right, thank you for that presentation. I will go ahead and open the public comment opportunity.
And for our attendees in the Zoom environment and our phone caller, this would be the opportunity for public comment on item 9.2. And for our phone caller, if you are interested in using the raise hand function, it's *9 on your phone to pull you in. We do have a speaker who's signed up to speak. I will pull up the speaker timer. I will just ask staff. Perfect. You read my mind. And let me pull up that speaker timer.
Mark Graham, you may go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Mayor and Council staff. Mark Graham. All right, I appreciate the report from Mr. Jordan. You may remember that earlier this year, the city hosted 2 workshops on the Smart City project. As I recall, and you could ask Mr. Jordan about this, there was only one person that attended either of those workshops, and that was me. And I expressed what I thought should be the city's priorities as you head down this road towards possibly becoming a smart city. And I would say the number one and two were minimize our exposure to electromagnetic radiation. And the second one is privacy. There would be a lot of data collected by, all these electronic gadgets that potentially could sprout up all over the city if you decide to make it a smart city. And that data could be misused. I don't know if Mr. Jordan updated the council, gave you a full briefing on what are the options, what are the possibilities, but I think that there should be such an update. And it's really something for the council to consider. You potentially open the door to, it's like, what's the expression? You open up a can of worms. If you start putting cameras and so on all over the city to collect data on your residents, and what's going to happen? All right, the other thing is the city did a survey not too long ago about what to do with the ARP money, $22 million from the federal government. And I filed a response that said this: in what the city should consider, and you should really treat it similarly to how you've treated this smart city project, is the possibility of a city-owned municipal community broadband network. The time to do this is now. There are other cities across the United States, several in Colorado, in particular in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They have had a city-owned community broadband project since something like 2012. It has saved the residents lots and lots of money. I don't know how many millions of dollars. It has provided jobs. And what you get with broadband is that you get more reliable, safer, and actually faster internet access than you would have, for example, if you were relying on a bunch of cell towers and cell antennas. Now, of course, we all already have some cell towers throughout the city, and we have some cell antennas, and you're permitting more. And that doesn't mean we couldn't do a city-owned community broadband project. So I encourage you to allocate, I don't know how much money, Take 6 months to do a feasibility study. Look at what they've done in Chattanooga. Look at what they've done in other cities. Look at the Institute for Local Self-Reliance, ILSR, Institute for Local Self-Reliance. They have tons of good information. Staff could communicate with them and just simply ask the question, what would we need to do, the city of Elk Grove, to have a city-owned community broadband project?
Thank you, sir. Do we have any other callers?
And as I look over the list of attendees, I do not see the raised hand function utilized. That will conclude public comment for item 9.2.
All right, then I will go ahead and close the public comment opportunity and open it up for council. Any questions? I do want to thank you, Christopher, for not only an excellent progress report, if you will. It's just great to see where we are from when we met in February with our council priorities. And then in today's Business Journal, there was a great article about Project Elevate as well. So great stuff happening. Any questions, comments from council? Otherwise, we'll look for a motion.
I'd echo those sentiments, Madam Mayor, and move staff's recommendation. Thank you.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
The motion and the second for the resolution of item 9.2. I will start the roll call vote with Councilmember Spies.
Aye.
Councilmember Hume.
Aye.
Councilmember Suen.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Nguyen.
Aye.
And Mayor Singh Allen.
Aye.
Resolution of item 9.2 will pass 5-0.
Thank you. Next item.
Our last regular item is designation of the voting delegate and alternates to the 2021 League of California Cities Annual Conference. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members, I'm Jason Lindgren, your city clerk. This is an item that comes up annually as the League of California Cities holds its annual conference. At the end of the conference on September 24th this year up at the Sacramento Convention Center, they'll be hoping to have the meeting for their general business meeting. So what this action is, we look from consensus from the council for who could be the voting delegate, and then you can also designate up to 2 alternates to represent the city of Elk Grove for voting on the business that comes before the League of California Cities.
Thank you. I would like to go ahead and open the public comment opportunity.
And looking over the list of attendees, this is the opportunity for folks to address item 9.3 with general public comment. And again, we have that phone caller, and we do have an individual who would like to speak on item 9.3. And for our phone caller, again, it's *9 is the function, or to use the raise hand function, but I'll pull up the speaker timer and we'll go from there.
Mark Graham, you may go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Evening, Mayor and Council and staff. Mark Graham. Now, the League of California Cities, I think, I'm not familiar with the whole body of their work, but I know that the League does an excellent job in some, but not all, of the legislation that is presented in the Capitol that affects cities. And in particular, the League took a position of opposition and recommended that cities also oppose SB 556. And as I mentioned in my earlier comment, Mayor, you did send out a letter to the sponsor, which is Senator Dodd, in April of this year, opposing that bill. And here's what I want the city's representatives or delegates to the League to know, and please convey. They need to do a better job, because there are a number of telecommunication bills currently in the legislature. Probably they're all going to get passed. I don't know. It's not known for sure. But there were a number of bills that would limit local zoning authority, and the League did not take a position on those. I asked them to. I recommended it. I know that I'm not the only person. And it seemed to be incongruous and inconsistent why the League would oppose this telecommunication bill that would severely limit local zoning authority over the placement of cell antennas, but not that one. For example, AB 537 that I mentioned earlier. So they're looking out for the interests of the cities, but they need to do a better job, especially in the area of telecommunication bills. And if you didn't know anything more about it, simply to keep it a priority that cities and counties throughout California should have their full authority, as cities and counties, whatever the word is, police powers, and power to do what the city thinks is right for the citizens, and not have that power curtailed and preempted by the state legislature. That's what the League they're in a position to do it. They've done it before, and they need to do a better job. So please convey that to the league. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments?
And I do not see any other raised hand features of our attendees in the audience for item 9.3. That'll conclude public comment for item 9.3.
All right, I will go ahead and close the public comment opportunity and ask my council colleagues who is interested in being appointed, and then and who else might be interested in serving as an alternate. I myself am quite busy with the U.S. Conference of Mayors, so I would yield my interest to any of you who would be interested in being a voting delegate and an alternate. So this is your opportunity, if you're interested, to please share your interest with your colleagues. Mr. Steves, your camera went on. Is that an interest?
Well, I don't hear everybody rushing to grab onto this one. Being the new guy, I'm happy to take a turn in the seat if that's the will of the council.
We have an interest from Councilmember Spies.
I'd support that.
Yep, I've done it for the last 2 years, Councilmember Spies. So if you're interested, I could be your alternate.
Perfect. That works for me.
So we have a motion. So let's you want to amend your motion, or I'll make the motion to appoint Councilmember Spies as the designee, and then Vice Mayor Nguyen as our alternate.
And I think just with that direction, that will do the trick if that's the consensus of the city council. And it sounds like it is.
No objections? All right. Thank you for your continued service on yet another committee and responsibility serving in your city. So thank you both for stepping up. We will go on to our next item.
That'll be section 10, council comments, reports, and future agenda items.
We'll start with Councilmember Spies.
Thank you. I have nothing to report.
Councilmember Hume.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing really to report as far as different commissions. We had an RT meeting, but it was, I think it barely lasted 20 minutes and basically consisted of the general manager's report only. And then we had a sanitation district board meeting that I'll let you report on if you feel anything to add, but just wished well to the district engineer who is retiring, and he did a great job of shepherding that agency. The only thing from a council comment standpoint that I want to bring up, and I've had some exchanges back and forth with staff, particularly Darren Wilson on this item, as I went out to visit a constituent who had complained about something that was being built in a backyard of one of the neighbors, and went out and met with about 3 or 4 of the neighbors who, one of them was building an accessory dwelling unit, which Darren reminded me that we had changed our code to be consistent with state law regarding accessory dwelling units. But this thing is 16 feet tall, which is permitted. It's 4 foot off of the back fence, which is permitted. And it does not have to, the owner does not have to own either the primary dwelling or this home, which is addressed to a completely different street, and probably has a bus stop within half a mile, and so therefore doesn't have any parking. So my point in saying all of this is that their complaint, which was valid, and which I think we all recognized when we did this in order to be uniformity with state mandate, is it completely changes the entire nature of the neighborhood. And they said that, that it takes it from a RD5 designation to an RD6. And I said, no, actually, it takes it to an RD10, because each one of the houses could do the same thing in their backyard. So I would like, and I'm willing to do this offline with staff, but I'd like to take a look at exactly what we can do to somehow put some local control back in our land use provisions. That particularly with the respect to this, I don't understand why, if the brand new house is being built, it has to have a 5-foot setback, but this apparently can have a 4-foot setback. I mean, that's just one inconsistency. In addition, the point that they brought up was all of the utilities had been sized for the impact or the amount of development that had been proposed. And so now to essentially double that by right drains certainly the grid, impacts the amount of sewer confluence. And so I think this is an issue. And I don't know if any of the rest of you have had anybody else bring it up, but this certainly was the first time I saw the real world application of this change. And I don't think it's right.
Interesting. Yeah, I actually a few months ago, now that you mention it, someone did bring it to my attention. And I agree with you as it comes to local control and having consistent communities based on how, what we envision and what the community envisions. And you can easily go sideways with something that's inconsistent. And as I recall, though, back with the intent of the ADUs is one aspect of addressing affordable housing. But with that, the law of unintended consequences, of course, is right. So I would be in support of you bringing back information and see what our, what can we do given the legal constraints. I see Council Member Soon, your hand is raised.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. I think both of you touched on what I was going to say, and of course I would support taking a look at it as well. I just want to further emphasize, it's not just local control, right? It's how it affects the infrastructure in our community. You're not just talking about the, sewer impacts to sewer and water needs, but also, we just went through a change for Quimby requirements for parking on a parcel that wasn't set for residents before. So these are unanticipated residents that would be there. School generation rates, for folks who aren't familiar with how development is done, there's a generation rate, a number of occupancy per residential home or per density, and you've just created more need now for our impacted schools. So these are the unintended consequences, Madam Mayor, I think you were referring to. And I think we definitely need to take a look at this in terms of how it'll affect our community in the long term. Thank you.
Absolutely. And what I'm seeing in some other cities is the ADUs are not being used to address affordable housing, but it's a supplemental income with Airbnbs. So I think you have at least 3. So that's what to move forward in exploring this.
Great. Thank you.
Councilmember Sun, anything to report?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were leaving. I forgot we were on that. No, we had a Sacramento Area Council of Governments board meeting, but nothing to report. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Nguyen.
Nothing to report. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a quick report on my end. There was STA a couple of weeks ago. Did have a meeting with the rural community and Supervisor Natoli and Council Member Hume as it relates to groundwater issues. Also, the Sanitation Sewer District, Councilmember Hume gave that report out. Today, we did a ride along with Elk Grove Unified School District, myself, and representatives from SAC-RT, and to bring greater awareness and attention for our families to utilize the free bus program for our students since schools have reopened. It's an excellent opportunity to lessen the stresses on the roads and traffic congestion. So that ride along took place this morning and it was very successful. We were joined with a number of students that were in the Franklin High School and Cosumnes Oaks regions, and we were all part of that bus route. So that went really well. So I just wanted to share that with you as well. And then we did hear during public comments from the family of Kiflit Gebra Mariam, and I apologize if I'm butchering the name. The family is obviously very concerned, and I met with the representatives, the friends and family just prior to our council meeting today outside City Hall. There was probably about 25 representatives that came here, and their goal, of course, is to is to find Mr. Kiflik and to bring, again, greater awareness, more media attention, because someone out there knows something. So I will continue with my assistance in bringing more awareness for this gentleman who is still missing. And it is our hope that we find him soon so he can be safely returned to his loving family. With that, I have nothing else, so I will go ahead and adjourn the meeting. It is 7:20. Have a great evening, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.